Hey guys, and welcome back to the Coder's Legacy channel. In this video, we'll take a look at the Python library SymPy and how we can use it to create and modify mathematical expressions in Python. Normally, if you would try to represent an expression, you would probably use a string like this, right? 2x plus 5. But with SymPy, we can actually create this as an actual object. That's not a string. Rather, it's actually an expression object. We can then evaluate this, substitute values into it, factorize it, simplify it, all kinds of different things that we can do with it. Okay, that's why SymPy is so amazing, and that sets up the base for further operations like differentiation, integration, etc. Okay, so let's take a look at how to do all this. I already made a video on SymPy before where we talked about how to set it up and how to use some basic commands, but I'll start from the basics again, so those of you who are new to SymPy can follow along. Okay, so I'm going to create a symbol over here, and what a symbol means is that it's an unknown. Okay, like x, y, a, b, c. We typically use these when creating expressions, right? So this is the format. It's pretty simple. You can just add in as many as you want. Okay, we don't really need them, but okay, let's just leave that in. Now, what's next? Let's create a basic expression. Okay, so let's just create the same thing again. Okay, let's create 2x plus 5, and I can't do this exactly because there needs to be an operator between these two. Okay, so I'll put in an asterisk that represents that. So let's try creating another expression. I'll do expression 2 is equal to x double asterisk 2. This means x to the power 2. Okay, then we'll do minus x minus 6. Okay, and let's create just one more using two unknowns this time, and they're used in the same manner, plus y squared, x squared plus y squared. Okay, so these are two expressions. Okay, and let's just do one last one. I was just one with a numerator and a denominator, so x minus 6 divided by y plus 5. Okay, so these are four expressions. Okay, this is just how we create them. One more thing I want to show you is how we can print these out nicely. Okay, there's this function called prettyprint, and it can be used to print them out quite nicely. Let me just show you what it does. So I'll print out expression 3 normally. It won't really do much for expression 1 and 2 because those are pretty normal. It won't do much for 3 either, honestly, but expression 4, it'll really do something nice. Okay, you'll see it in a minute. Let me just print these out. Okay, and let's do the same for expression 4. And there we go. Let's see how we can make them look, what the before and after look really is. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Okay, now this is the before. This is without prettyprint. This is with prettyprint. You can see that there's kind of showing the numerator, the power, the exponent in a nice way over there. Okay, and we can see that it really looks nice on this one, on expression 4, with the numerator and the denominator. Okay, so prettyprint can look pretty nice. I'm just showing you guys how to do that. Okay, and what else can we do with expressions? Alright, so time to take a look at how to actually solve expressions, how to substitute values in them. Okay, and this is really the main thing when it comes to expressions. Okay, so imagine that you have this expression, this equation, and you need to evaluate it. Okay, you need to find out its roots. Well, guess what? You can actually do that with SymPy. It's just one simple function. Okay, it's this solve function up here, okay, that I just imported, and let me show you what it does. Okay, I'll use the solve function on expression 2, and let's see what happens. Okay, you may already know what roots to expect, and yeah, there we go. It's minus 2 and 3. Okay, these are the roots. Okay, and if you actually plug these values in, we'll get 0. Okay, this will evaluate to 0 if we put either minus 2 or 3 in there, which is what a root is. Okay, but let's prove that. Okay, let me actually show you how to plug those values into it. Okay, let me take the value minus 2 and put that into the expression and show you that it gives 0. Okay, I'll do print expression 2 dot subs. Sub stands for substitute, so we're substituting the value of what x, okay, the value x. We're substituting the unknown value x, we're substituting it with -2. So if I run this, we should get, yes, -2, 3, the roots, and 0, which is the value at -2. Let's try 3. This should also give 0. And yes, 0. Let's try something else like 1. Okay, what's the answer going to be? 1 minus 1 and -6. All right, so that should be like just 6, -6. Yeah, there. So we can see that it's all working correctly. Okay, now what happens if we try to substitute values into an equation, an expression with multiple unknowns? Let me show you. Let's just remove that. Okay, so let's take expression 3, and what you do is just pass in any iterable object into this function. Okay, this can be a list, it can be a dictionary or a tuple, whatever. Let me show you with a dictionary and a list. Those are the most common. Okay, so create a list over here. Okay, and make these just, make these tuples inside of it. Okay, so x and 2 and y and 3. Okay, now what should that give us? Let's find out. All right, so this gives us 13. Let's just validate that. 2 to the power 2 is 4, 3 to the power 3 is 9. Okay, that gives us 13. Great, this is working. And let me just show you with a dictionary. I personally prefer to use a dictionary here because it's a bit shorter. Just do x, colon 2 and y colon 3. There, that's it, you're done. And this will give us 13. There we go. All right, so that's how to substitute values, that's how to solve them. Okay, these work on pretty much all equations. Okay, simple ones, complicated ones, you name it. All right, so what's next? Well, next there's 3 functions I want to take a look at: expand, simplify, and factor. Let's take a look at them one by one. Okay, so expand. Let's take a look at expand. All right, how do I explain this? I need a good example. Let me create another expression here. Okay, so we can actually use this, so I can show you how it works. Okay, let's say that we have x plus 1 and we have x plus 5. Okay, and let's just add in one more, x minus 6. Okay, now what I want to do is expand this expression. Oh wait, hold on, I need to add in asterisk between these. Okay, now it's valid. I need to expand this now. Okay, let's just say I want it's expanded version. Currently it's factorized. Okay, I want the expanded version. How do I do that? Well, I just use the expand function. Okay, import it, and then just call it on expression 5. That's it. Okay, and if I run this, you'll see that it gives us the full version. Okay, the expanded version. All right, great. So how do we do the reverse? How do we go around taking an expanded expression and turning it back into its simplified version? Well, that's where the simplify function comes in. All right, so let's just take this over here, this output. Okay, create a new expression with this value, expression 6, and let's call the simplify function on it. Okay, simplify, and just call it on expression 6, and we're good to go. And this should give us expression 5. Oh, okay, hold on. Sorry, I actually mixed this up. This is actually a very common mistake people do. Simplify does not mean factorize. Okay, I actually mixed up simplify and factor. Okay, factor is actually what is going to, actually recreate those factors. Okay, a little mistake on my part. So if I do this, it's gonna factorize it. Okay, so this gives us expression 5. Okay, using expand on expression 5 gives us expression 6. Using factor on expression 6 gives us expression 5. Okay, so let's take a look at where to use simplify. Okay, let me make another example, I think. Yeah, that would be best. Okay, so expression 7. And let's say I'm in a situation where I have something like this. X squared, x multiplied by something like y plus 5. Okay, and if I expand this, if I expand expression 7, what do I get? I get x multiplied by y plus 5x. Okay, now what if I take this, make it expression 8, and then use simplify on it? Okay, because you should understand what simplify is. Simplify attempts to find the most simple version, the most easiest way it can represent an expression. Okay, so if I use simplify on this, it's going to actually revert that and show us the more simplified version, which is, yes, this. Okay, because think about it, which one is easier to see? Which one's more easy on our eyes? Expression 7 is easier to see. Okay, it's like you know, you took the common out, there are less terms lying around, there's less clutter. Okay, expression 8 on the other hand takes a bit longer to see what's going on in there, and this gets more and more pronounced the more terms there are, the more, you know, like imagine this was x multiplied by z or something like that. This would get more and more complicated. Okay, this looks more simpler. So that's what simplify does. Okay, so yeah, we covered these 3 functions. What else is left? We still have some important topics left in SymPy that, you know, are related to expressions like differentiation, integration, limits, but those are all separate topics and they're big topics, so we'll make a video each on one of them. We have a bunch of other subtopics as well to cover, like how to convert regular strings to SymPy expressions and a bunch of other things, okay, that I have planned out. And yeah, we have a lot of content for SymPy planned out, so if you're interested in SymPy, if you're interested in scientific computation in Python, definitely subscribe to the channel, leave a like, leave a comment, let me know if there's something you're interested in. Okay, SymPy is a very vast library and even a dozen videos would not do it justice. There's a lot to cover. Okay, I'll just try and cover as much as I can. I actually had this idea to show you guys how SymPy can actually be used in real life applications, in real life mathematics. So we'll actually have a bunch of videos on that as well. Okay, you can even see that file over there. It's for Newton's method. Okay, so I'm actually going to be coding the implementations of certain algorithms like Newton's method and a few other things like secant method and Lagrange, stuff like that. Okay, so stay tuned and be sure to follow up with the series so you don't miss anything. Alright, and I'll see you guys in a later video.